And we're back, Michelle. Episode 9 of the Scottish Interior Podcast.
And we are almost finished season 2.
I can't believe it.
Amazing.
I know it's been a good run.
It has. I've really liked this season because we've had it totally trades focused and all for like good insight.
And some really good trades as well.
Yeah.
Like some of them have had incredible stories, brilliant journeys.
Yeah.
It's been really, really good just chatting into the real and raw and the nitty gritty.
I know, and it's like some really like ambitious tradespeople who've got lots of like want to do academies, want to train people, want to do like the best in their industry.
£1 million contracts.
Yeah,
It's just great to see there is folk out there. And listen, sometimes it can come across that trades or some people are quite negative when it comes to their job. They hate their job. They want to go up the road. They can't wait to the finish. Some of these people have got like goals coming out their ears. Do you know what I mean? Visions, mood boards. Like it's amazing. And I think we've had some great guests on.
We have, and we've got some more.
We have got some more. Today's guests are brilliant. Power couple in the construction sector.
Definitely.
So yeah, really excited to get into chat with them. But first, how has your week been?
My week's been great. I've had 2 consultations for new projects, so those will be kicking off soon. So yeah, exciting.
I have been here, there, and everywhere. I've been to Birmingham. I've been to Dublin. I've been at Les Mahago today.
Les Mahago, Blackhall, Blantyre.
I know. Yep. I've been all over the shop, but no, it's been good. As we always say, booked and busy, which is good. And we've been a bit like passing chips in the night, isn't it?
We have. We've not been joined at the hip as
joined
much.
At the hip in your pocket.
I know. Have to do a wee finale to season 2.
I know, we will do. But first, let's get into today's guests. So today we are joined on the Scottish Interior Podcast with myself, Declan, and Michelle.
Yes.
Today we're joined by a couple both making moves in the construction space just from a very different angle. We've got Pamela, who's gone from corporate life to becoming a female founder, now helping construction businesses win better work through growth and performance solutions. And Ross from Rossco Tiling Specialists, known for high-end tiling from intricate patterns to large format installs, and now training the next generation through his academy. We're getting into some career changes, building a business, and the reality behind the construction and interiors world. So let's get into today's episode. Welcome, guys.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's delighted to have you.
Yeah.
Our guests, Pamela.
Hi.
Take us back. Let's kick off with you.
Uh-huh.
Who is Pamela?
Right now, Pamela is starting a business and I'm posting online, just trying to be visible. But that kind of started from, trying to figure out my own career. And, Ross and I have been together for 11 years now. I was actually saying it because our little girl turned 9.
Oh.
And I was like, oh my God, we've been at 11 years. And I was like, I didn't know you from Adam. I don't know. It's just like, that was just not long enough. But, that whole time, trying to start a career when you're young and then having kids and stuff like that was a bit of a minefield.
Yeah.
But, I feel like I kind of figuring my way through, and with the sort of different roles that I had, I always kind of fell back into working with Ross and supporting Ross's business. And I started to get quite, frustrated is probably the better word, that, you do lots in the background, but everybody only ever really knew Ross. It was obviously it's his business. He's actually there on the tools doing the job. But there was a lot of it that I was doing in the background, and I just thought, I want to be able to freely sort of talk about this. And even when I was employed, I was never really overly proud and, wanted to show all those achievements. I was always genuinely more proud of the businesses that Ross and I were building. So last June, I stepped away from my corporate job in construction. And I launched Growth and Performance Solutions, and I help smaller construction businesses sort of grow in a commercial space. But a lot of those businesses are very similar to Ross in the sense of they kind of start off in home improvements, and then, you know, they realise that they do want to grow or they want to do those bigger projects, and then that's when I can sort of support them.
Amazing. And why construction at the beginning? Like,
I think genuinely probably because of Ross. You know, I kind of started when I supported his business at the start, and then I got a role in a bathroom company, and it just seemed like a really good fit because that's the type of projects he did, working in bathrooms. So that was dinner time chat for us. In fact, that was like lunchtime chat every 10 minutes on the phone. Yeah, like that was the life that I knew. So it just made a lot of sense for me to get into that space. And then through one of those roles, I then, you know, it didn't really work out, and I just leveraged it to get an opportunity in construction. And to be fair, I never looked back because the experiences I gained in those construction companies have kind of given me the tools and the sort of knowledge that I've got to support businesses now in my own business. So
amazing.
Incredible. And Ross, what about you? Tell us your story. How did you fall into tiling?
Yeah, quite literally.
I've got so many questions, but we need to hear from Ross first. Come on.
I want to be an accountant in school, but naturally in school, it changes kind of second year, fall away, and my uncle was there, he had a job. I just enjoyed working hard at that point, and that was my opportunity, so that's what happened. He's a general builder, I suppose. Tiling was his niche trade of them all. So that's what he sent me to college to do. I've just kind of progressed since then. It's one thing I can do is just get my head down and do the job, and that's naturally what's helped me progress, I suppose, just because I do it and I do it right. And up until I met Pamela, that's all I was doing is just working, and I never had a uniform until I met Pamela. I think, what was that, a Christmas or a birthday or something? Here you go. Couple of polo shirts and some hoodies and stuff with my brand, my new logo on it.
Didn't even have a logo.
No. I was just Ross the tiler then. So naturally meeting Pamela helped me then progress again and see what.
I take it your nickname is Roscoe.
No. Never been called Rossco in my life.
Shut up.
I swear to God.
No way.
It's my biggest bugbear, innit? Because he was RC Tiling before, and then, you know, we got to a point where we felt like we had to do a rebrand. So I came up with Rossco, and I remember sending it to him because I had got like an outlay of the van that you had, like a sketch, didn't I? And I sent him over like a full presentation at like 12 o'clock of the day, expecting him to really take it seriously. Like, he's elbow deep in adhesive. And I'm like, what do you think about that?
You're on clip art.
Your 14-page PowerPoint.
That's Pamela.
PDF.
Before ChatGPT.
And it was Roscoe, but I was like supposed to be like Ross and Co, because we're expanding, you know, and I had all these big dreams, and everybody, and it's like even some of your older clients are like, hi, Roscoe. That's what he's going for now.
That's so good, isn't it?
Oh,
but,
amazing.
Right, you've got to think, Ross, you are the trade that brings the glam to the houses when you're doing the bathroom. Like, you've got all the other folk that go in and rip it out, and if you need the joiner to build certain things, whatever, but you are the one who brings the glam to it, isn't it? It's a good feeling when you get to that
said. We get we're the cream of the job, like we come in, but at the same time, a bad tiler can also pull everybody down with him, so you've always got that in the back of your head, and it's...
And how involved do you get with the client? So are they coming to you and asking you what they should do with their tilings, or are you saying this is like, are they coming to you with a plan and saying this is what I want to do, or what?
Pretty much. I've always said that a client can give me a picture and I can create that for them, but if it comes to design and colours and that sort of thing, that's not my forte. I can build your dream, but I can't bring it to a vision for you.
Yeah.
If they show me a picture, I can absolutely make it happen. But if it comes to colours and what the best trend is and that sort of thing, that's where I'm a bit on the back foot with that sort of thing.
But do you love creating like new things and like really special things? I think I followed you for a while, and before I met Pamela, and then I realised that was who you both were, and I was like, oh God, I've always followed Ross, and he does really good because actually what you create is different from just run of the mill. So. Like you must have an input in that. That's not just luck.
I've got a mind for all the intricate stuff, and I'm confident that I take on most of the jobs that tilers don't want.
Yeah.
Just because of the thought that's involved, and some of the boys that work with me, they joke and call me the Rain Man at tiling. When something needs set out a certain way, I just go a bit quiet and I just start going through everything and setting it all out, and that happens, and that's how I kind of get. I managed to think like 5 or 6 steps forward to see how something's going to look, and as I've went through it, progressed as well. I've done the bathroom fitting, so I can think to what the room looks like when it's finished, and then add that element of thought to it.
See, that's good, and I think like this series is all been about trades and what we can, and really for our listeners to be able to understand like wee tips, hints and tips of each trade, and we've had like Venetian plastering and various things, and I think what's great is everybody we've had on is really passionate about what they do. It's not just a job. It's not just like I'm going here for a day and I'll get paid this day rate. It's actually like this is a project for you, and you care about it and you want to have that good outcome. And obviously, as we've said, like social media is such a huge thing now that the ones who are showing progress, showing like end results, transformations, all that, that's the people, and who are talking on cameras and everything, that's the people who are really coming to the forefront now, which is great.
It's just, it's good seeing them be proactive, but and like these are just creating the dream out there on socials, and like I love watching some of the transformations and how the tradespeople naturally get more confident as it goes along as well. Because like even I remember chatting, we actually had him on, Martin Daly. Martin Daly used to dread the camera, and now he's screw fixer following him a bit with a camera crew and stuff. Do you know what I mean? And I'm just like, it just shows you how documenting your journey out there, it just actually changes your business and the way it's
I remember
conveyed.
I was getting my eyebrows done once, and the girl I knew, I actually went to college with her, and I'm lying there obviously with my eyes closed. And she was like, do you know how it's like how satisfying I find your husband's Instagram? And I was like, what do you mean? And she was like, I watch his tiling all the time. Like she just, and it's like she's not getting tiling done, she's just been able to watch that being done. And I think we kind of learned then that people like to see the start, the middle part, and then the end. And I do think that's probably where we could do better, is showing a bit about like saving that whole thought process behind. I mean, I remember when one of these points when I'm trying to support Ross's business and get a bit more involved, and I was like, I can go out and price jobs. Like, you know, I worked in bathrooms, I can do it.
Meanwhile, Ross is shaking his head.
Can you even get the tape measure? You should see him when he goes into a job. He's like, this tape measure goes for there to there, and he's just standing in his left hand. And I'm like, how do you work a tape measure like that? I'm trying to do it, and it's all over the place.
I use a laser. I can't. I'm no good with a tape measure. I'm like, could you hold this side for me? Could you do that? Whereas all the tradies are like out there, and you're like,
that's so funny that I was out with Chris Turrell today doing content on site, and he dropped his laser. The batteries fell out, the back cracked, and he's like, nah, I'm going to have to go to the motor and get my tape measure. So I don't know if I can do this. I was like,
well, I don't feel so bad then.
oh, that's funny.
I honestly, what a laugh. And talking about points in social media, guys, this week residents shared Hudson House in Gary and Bridge. The house that's just had me in an absolute chokehold. I have watched that reel a million times. So guys, just a wee quick interruption to today's episode. We're thrilled to announce that the Scottish Interior Podcast is proudly sponsored by Tyrrell's Home Furnishings. Tyrrell's has a wealth of experience, over 90 years within the industry. So a huge thank you to Tyrrell's Home Furnishings for supporting the podcast, bringing style, comfort and inspiration to homes across Scotland.
And there's some houses that I see and I'm a bit like, I wouldn't have a bathroom like that. You know, if I had that money, I wouldn't do that. But that house,
it's the curved walls, the use of lighting, like the shower, the dressing room.
Ross is remaining silent.
The circle shower caused me a bit of stress.
PTSD.
Tiling 6 metres above your head and stuff, that'll be a stress that will live with me forever.
Wow, it's beautiful though, isn't it?
I think on paper, like if you seen how much detail was in that house on paper, you'd be like, that's a lot. Will it work? But when you see the physical thing, it's amazing.
How long were you on that project for?
I don't know. That was a really, really busy period because jumping between a few big projects. A couple, was that 24? 24.
That must have been a designer that was on that though, for every detail. Yeah.
Aye.
Has somebody been living in it? So it's not as if it's just been done to sell.
No. I must have been there for on and off for about 4 or 6 months.
Wow.
Insane. It does get, because I like what we were saying before about doing a home improvement business and then doing commercial, like from a design perspective, like I've started off with residential, but I've then went to commercial and done did a restaurant and bar and a whole set of toilet blocks and just accessible toilet and all these kind of things, and it's a whole other ball game. And I did, when I went in there, I spoke to the architect and I was like, this is not my forte, and I would love to do it, but I need your help to be able to tell me like what I can and can't do with, you know, the regulations and whatever. But even that was like a year of my life, and like it was something else. But like the ladies' toilets, I wanted every cubicle to be tiled differently.
Yeah.
I wanted all this. They were all like, what? The tiler was hating me. Oh my God. Every time I come in, it was like where they go, there's the designer come and they go, shit. And I was like, morning. And they're all like, that shit. Yeah, like, what have we do now? And I'm like, right, so I want this toilet to be pink and this one to be pink, and I want different pink tiles and I want them going that way. And the tiler was like,
feel his pain.
The tiler's like, piss off. But he did it all for me. But what was great was, you know, I had all the vision, and then I was like at him and he was like, right, so you realise if that's going to, and he was the same, like laying out the tiles on the floor and showing me, and he was like, so this is what's going to happen if I do it the way you're asking me to do it, but if I do it this way. And I was like, right. But so that was good that we worked together on it.
Right.
It's funny actually listening, because when you see finished projects or houses like we've just mentioned there, it all comes down to the same thing, and it's like the absolute end element is like the finished product, i.e. the tiling, and like it's the most memorable of things that you see, like you're saying, like how many people come back after lunch night at that restaurant in Barry we're working on for them to turn and go, oh, that lady's bathroom, the tiles are gorgeous in it, the bar, the tiles are gorgeous, do you know what I mean? Because it's just amazing how something so late down the line, after all the hard work it's been put into it, to get to that point.
They done a launch event. Well, it wasn't a launch event as such, but their first event was a ladies' night, and there was like 100 ladies or something.
Yeah.
I hung about in the toilets just so I could
hear.
With
business kids?
No, I could hear. So I was pretending I was in the bathroom, like washing my hands and everything, but I was really hearing what everybody was saying.
Comments.
So they were coming out and they were going, "Oh, these toilets are lovely, aren't they? So nice. Look at these sinks." And they were pink tabletop sinks and all this, and they were like, "Oh, these are lovely." And I was like, "Oh, yes." So yeah.
See, when you were talking about like obviously going from residential projects into those commercial projects. With the likes of, is it Hudson House?
Yeah.
The likes of that one, I would say is, I mean, it was such a long programme and it's such a big project that's that kind of niche space that I always talk about Ross being in. So small businesses might say to me, like, you know, you can help us, but, you know, why is Ross not got this big commercial tiling business? Well, the answer is because that's just not the type of work he wants to do. He doesn't want to do, like, meters like of swimming pools or schools or repairs or anything like that. So when it comes to commercial work, those contracts just don't fit our business model. But the likes of that particular project is perfect because there's a long programme on it. You can make a bit of money getting the right team involved in it. But also there's still that site experience. It's still a site at the end of the day. And those are the types of projects where we work really well on, because I do think it's quite a hybrid of residential and commercial, because it's not necessarily a commercial client, but it's still a site and it's got that
large enough project.
Yeah.
But would you do like a hotel, like if it was a boutique hotel and they said we want each bathroom to be different and whatever, would you do that? No, just not like a commercial, like typically every bathroom's going to look the same. And you know, I feel that would be quite. That's like an organisation that wants to go in and do that, isn't it?
Whereas, that's what I tend to stay away. I feel like with the houses, new houses called house bashing, where it's just plot after plot after plot, and I don't like monotonous. I like different and a bit
Keeps
of thought.
The brain ticking over.
Yep.
Yeah.
So if you had to give anybody advice in their bathroom, like they've got a small bathroom, they want to make it look bigger, they've got a big bathroom, what would you say, tiling wise, that they should be aiming for? Big tiles, wee tiles, what?
If you want the big tiles, it's obviously the minimalist look. You need to be careful you're not buying too big a tile and you're just cutting half it off to throw in the bin. When we're working away there, much of that just happened because of the size of the rooms. We were actually short of tiles in a couple of rooms, even though I'd been up and measured and made sure it was okay. Just by the time we got up there and laid it all out, we were losing a good bit of waste. Bit of advice, so just put a bit of thought into it. Just work with your tiler. Ask him what the best size is. Sometimes tilers, depending on who you get, they try and talk you out of a harder job, so they might talk you down to a smaller tile, but...
Purely because they don't want to do that? Or
Aye. If it's an older tiler, it doesn't like lifting heavy tiles anymore and
yeah.
that sort of thing.
Even the bigger tiles though, like there's, so see with the, again, see this sort of average tile size, that middle section where we just don't really love, whereas Ross does Victorian style stuff really well. And
So
we
is
notice...
this the intricate stuff you talk about?
Right.
And it's like people are getting it done in their pathways and their hallways and all that now, and it is absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah.
But when we do those types of projects, he gets loads of DMs from other tilers that are like, oh, I've got some time if you need a hand. And I'm like, that's because they want to learn, because they'll never get that opportunity.
Yeah.
But then similarly, if you go to the other side and you've got these bigger tiles, you need lifting equipment. So then if your tiler doesn't have that equipment, then they're not going to be able to do it. Or they at least won't do it to the standard that it needs to be done.
Yeah.
And what would you say is like the absolute on trend now that everybody's wanting, or have you got a pet hate that you're thinking that trend just isn't for me?
No, I'm actually starting to see Archies coming back.
Yep.
Yeah.
I've tiled a couple now, I've mired a couple, and they're definitely on their way. I don't know how far they'll go, but
You titled a ceiling?
yes, many.
Many.
And that Hudson one, there's the flyover in the hallway.
Yeah. I had asked for the last client I was working in their bathroom, and I wanted like the shower enclosure to look like an enclosure and do the tiles above. And beginning it was kind of like, right, so you want me to tile? And I was like, yeah. And they did it. They did it no bother. But yeah, they were quite.
It's always daunting at the start. You go, can I tile? I can't tile a ceiling because it's just a wall up there. But
Yeah.
Michelle, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Ross did a job recently, right? And there was I won't get into details, but
Don't know
he
where she's
basically came home and showed me this contraption, is what I can explain it. And he was like, "Oh, look at this! Look what I've done!" And essentially, the person's was it the plug socket for the Dyson? It was like this gorgeous mirrored like dressing space,
I know what
right?
you're going to say.
And he'd concealed the Dyson plug socket, and he was so impressed by it. And I thought, that's excellent, but how are you supposed to unplug it? And he was like, well, you wouldn't unplug it.
no, I put a false tile in front of you. You could remove
Oh,
the false
yeah,
tile.
that was it. So when you take the tile off,
You can put your hand in the hole and unplug it.
But then if you need to put the wee bit back on, you would need to go back in and fit it, was what you said.
No, you can do.
Surely not.
Because remember, I was having a few
because
tantrum over
The hairdryer,
my Dyson
the
breaks.
hairdryer wasn't fitted yet, so I had to
What
leave
if
it
my
loose.
Dyson breaks?
You concealed it in a tile. What was
Only
the
you
colour?
would plug a
Said
Hoover in the
Dyson, I was
bathroom.
thinking you were talking about the Hoover.
So was that.
The hairdryer.
You're right.
I was like, why she got a Dyson Hoover in her oh, right, okay.
If Pamela could plug a Hoover in the bathroom, she would. She's always hoovering.
Do you know what, on that note, but if like plug sockets, I keep seeing it pop up now, and it's like the evolution of the plug socket, how it's went for these big, bulky, kind of older fashioned style sockets to then gradually getting the thinner templates to now have you seen them and they're just like purely the circle in the wall.
Mm-hmm.
And
I
they're-
watch
and
a
it's
lot of
just
the
pins, like
versions.
the 3 pins, and it's just, I'm like mind blown.
But all the stuff he watches is all like tiles that conceal it, and I'm
Right,
like,
but I want to know how you get. Right, so go back to the Dyson plug. So, can you pop up the tile, or can you just need to take it off,
So-
or
Because the hairdryer hadn't been fitted yet, I'd had to leave it all loose, and I
Right.
suggested to the fitter that you can get some magnets and you can stick at the
Yeah.
corners of the inside of it so the tile could be removable as and when needed. I don't know if that got done, but I suggested that. I said how it could be done for it to be accessible. Well, it's just been silicon done, I don't know.
I said, I was like, see if I was the client and I came home and my Dyson's plugged in a tile and I need to pop the tile off and I've got a big hole, I'd be raging.
Legally, you're not allowed sockets in bathrooms, so it had to be concealed.
So 6 years ago this week, we had lockdown, right? I hate we always go
COVID?
back to it.
I know.
I know, but there's a reason behind my
okay?
my change of subject here because it aligns with what we were chatting about. Where everybody you seen was buying metro subway style tiles, and it was obviously an absolute phenomenon that back then. I really don't think that they've died away.
No, they just...
That's a trend
They're
I feel it's just an absolute staple still. Do you know? Are you still actively getting people going, oh, I still want the metro style tile? Am I calling it the metro style? Is it subway tile?
Both. I
Yeah.
think.
Either or, same
Metro,
thing, eh?
subway.
Yeah, either or, whatever your preference is,
Yep.
you call them.
It's definitely still a thing. It's always a job you can guarantee you'll get every year. Whether it's 2 or 3, you'll get a couple of them.
Yeah.
Because somebody still likes the look, and we just done one a couple of months ago, start of the year.
Mostly, well, you get them in modern houses, but Victorian houses, a lot of people have them, like the
Yeah.
nice, the green colour and stuff. That a lot of
Exactly
people
that.
have
I was
them.
in
Yeah.
the West End, and a wee flat, wee sandstone flat, and that's what they wanted.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I had actually a guy I know years ago. I can't remember if I've said to you before about this, but he'd changed all his tiles in his floor. The tiler was in. He's like, I want glitter grout. And it was obviously like an old school tiler, right? And he's like, you what? And he's like, I want glitter in my grout. So he's basically made this old boy. I don't know. How does that even happen? Do they literally just mix glitter in the
Pour a
grout?
bag of glitter into the grout. Aye.
You've been there, right? I remember that.
Nah.
Aye. A client in Larkhall, actually, that was my first glitter grout experience.
Is it blue?
she bought it off online for me. It was horrendous stuff to work with.
Nah. Get that right in the bin.
I know.
That was a
Also
long
then,
time ago.
I did, she won't mind me saying, I did Gina McKee's ground floor, and she wanted big, massive white tiles with a grey vein running through them. This was a few years back, so it was all when we were in our grey and white era. And Gina likes a bit of sparkle, and she was like, no, I want white grout. And I was like, oh, no, we can't have white grout. And she was like, no, we want white grout because I want it to look seamless. I was like, right, okay. So reluctantly, the tilers did it, white grout. I'm pretty sure we scraped it out 3 times. And then I was like, you can get sparkly grout, you can get whatever, and she was like, I think you can get epoxy resin, we can do that. So that's what she ended up getting. But she was determined we were having white grout. So my advice is always to people, please don't get white grout for the floor.
Doesn't matter how
Yeah,
well you keep your house.
yeah, I know. But grout is such a thing now. Like the amount of choices that you've got with the grout colours now is amazing. Like
Yeah.
you didn't used to have as much
Mm-hmm.
as you've got now.
Back at the start, it was white in the walls and greys in the floor, and that
Yeah.
was
Aye.
your whack.
You've
Aye.
got one of those things in the van, haven't you? It's like a grout chart. There's
Just
all these wee
Causes
Yeah.
more problems than it
You go
solves.
back to that restaurant and bar, the toilets you done. Like I remember you were like, do you like my rose? Was it rose coloured grout? I was like obsessed. Aye, that works.
That's when I was getting told this was the fluffy stuff and it didn't matter. And I was like,
Aye.
this is exactly
Yeah.
the stuff that matters.
And do you think in the world that we're living in, like everybody thinks they can do everything because of what we watch online and TikTok and whatnot? Do you think clients definitely are becoming more like interior aware as such? Like they're coming to you with the project that they want like you to execute as such,
Aye, definitely.
rather than you saying, "Oh, why don't we do this?" You finding a lot more all over the Pinterest, and Pinterest is a bit of a grey area in this podcast, isn't it?
And ChatGPT now.
Aye,
People
ChatGPT.
use ChatGPT to do they?
I have been to a few and they've said, right, so ChatGPT told me my living room should look like this and I should put this wall in. And then they've gave me the picture and they've tried to do what ChatGPT has
Yep.
told them to do. However, it doesn't fit. They have got the wrong ceiling size. They've got the wrong width of the wall, all of this kind of stuff. And you're like somebody asked me for I've seen this, but I know I can't get a mezzanine, but this is the vibe. And I'm like, a mezzanine? It's like a normal ceiling. What? No. So your whole vibe is because of the mezzanine. So we have to get you a new vibe because this isn't going to
Yeah,
work.
that's not going to work here.
So yeah, people are absolutely putting in. And there's, what's the other one? The Google one.
Oh,
God, I can't remember the name of it.
can't remember his name. The co-pilot and stuff.
And
Aye.
it's like you can put in, here's my room measurements, here's a picture, here's what, I would like it to look like. Give me ideas. And it throws you back your
Yeah.
room with these ideas, which is great for inspiration maybe.
Yes.
But then you have to be
Practicality.
realistic
Aye.
on like,
Put a
does
full
this
stop
work?
at the end of that, aye, and then just
Yeah.
don't take it literal. I've been following the Dodgy Gardener. If you've watched them,
I see them.
so he basically exactly what you said. So every video he starts with is like, "Welcome to part 1, 2, 3 of turning the shit show of a garden into ChatGPT's version, right? He's brilliant. So he's amassed like almost 1 million followers in 6 months, right? It's mind blowing. Left his job and everything, but he's actually doing all the work himself. And it's mind blowing because the guy's obviously he's not a landscape gardener by any matter of means. And you're just like, wow, this is taking off to a point that like back to what I was saying, like people are coming hands on and going, can we actually do this? That AI's thrown up and showing us, it's mind blowing.
Tiling's always been a trade that everybody will have a go at. Doesn't matter
Well,
who
that's
you
the
are.
thing I was going to say. You must have seen some DIY disasters that people think. I think it's one of the hardest to do. I'm like, oh no,
I
I'm not trying
think
that.
most people who try it don't realise until they're in the thick of it and go, oh, bit of my depth here.
Yeah.
So obviously with the training academy and stuff, I realised having people in that they then realised how much was involved in just setting out a simple bathroom. Even we only use 60x30s, and I'm like, there's this factor, that height, there's a window sill, there's the bath, there's the ceiling height, there's the top of the window. You need to consider all of these things before you even put a batten in the wall or a laser or anything. Like, right, okay.
That's interesting, in fact, touching on the training academy, because we have had a couple of Venetian plasterers on here that have been result of attending courses a few years ago that I think what they've said, the long and short is you've got 10 boards to do in this course. You do your boards, then you go through some examination or whatever, then that they sign you off, and you basically, that's you're batter on.
Yeah.
It's clearly not that at all, is it, in Thailand? It's a lot more maths involved and...
There is, obviously, I think about things a bit much deeper. You can be as complicated as you want or as simple as you want, I think, with Thailand. Obviously, the more higher end jobs you get to, it's not always just about centering a wall and having equal cuts either side. There's a lot more factors. But much the same, you can just train people and batter on. And
a lot of things, though, especially practical things, you really need the chance to be practical and be in it and live it. A lot of stuff is not classroom. You need to know the basics, obviously, classroom, but getting out there and somebody giving you an opportunity to learn something and do something and physically do it, I think that's the only way you learn properly.
See, even from like an industry perspective, it's like, the construction industry as a whole has got a massive skills shortage.
Yeah.
And as it stands, you can't learn to be a tiler in Scotland. The recent college closed it down. But then for us with the training academy, we really struggled to get SQA approval and stuff because, there wasn't enough staff. There was just red tape everywhere. And for me, I was looking at it as, what we've got here is, an occupation what you don't need to have a qualification for. So, Ross earns a really good living. Ross has got a team who also earn a really good living. Through what he teaches them, they don't have qualifications because you don't legally need one.
Yeah.
And not to say that you shouldn't be a tiling apprentice, but when it comes to, the fact that we've got, like, people who need employment, and we've got people like Ross who want to share their expertise, and then you've got the likes of Mrs. Smith who's waiting 8 weeks for a splashback to be tiled. It makes sense to have independent training centres like Rossco that are saying, right, this is how you learn a new skill and you go and earn a living. And, there are other places who are like maybe SQA accredited, and you'll go in, you'll spend thousands of pounds and you'll go in for 6-8 weeks and you learn everything that is taking Ross 20 years to learn in 6 weeks. And then as soon as you go out to your first job, you forgot what you learned in day one.
Yeah.
Whereas the way that we did it was we had bathroom bays that were set up to be real life bathrooms. So you would walk into any average bathroom and that's what you would see. And then you would have kitchen bays that were exactly the same. They were set up like a real life kitchen. So you would come and you would spend 2 weeks with us, which everybody in TikTok thought we were cowboys for. And then, you would learn how to tile a bathroom and you would learn how to tile a kitchen. And what we would say was go out, get your first jobs, learn, make a living, and then when you're at a point in a year to like a year minimum to come back and advance your skills, then you come back here and we'll teach you herringbone, we'll teach you other wet floors and things like that. And I think that's how simple, that's how black and white it was for me. It was like, at the end of the day, there is a demand issue with certain trades and some of them you don't need a qualification. So, you know, why is it so challenging to give someone...
What is your honest opinion on that? Like, when it comes to like talent across the industry, where do you see it going?
I mean, it's
construction sector?
It's definitely not great in the sense that we've got, from a construction perspective, is we've got like major infrastructure projects that we can't resource. So from a, you know, a regional perspective, is we're having to bring resource up from down south.
Wow.
And that's not, you know, specialist trades. That's like joiners, paint and decorators. We're having to bring them up from down south to work on our local projects, when actually there are competent tradespeople local, but they just don't know that those projects exist. They don't know anything about health and safety or accreditations or anything like that will help get them on a site. But then if you just shift over to the home improvement sector, the demand is so high that you've got subpar tradespeople charging excessive day rates, and then you've got homeowners that are left with really poor quality projects. And I just think that is only going to get worse if you know, the industry doesn't sort of do more to support.
It's interesting because Martin Daly, when he was on, he's doing the same thing with apprentices, and he said that there's a total lack of apprenticeships across construction, and he's been to like something in the Scottish government and trying to change things, and you just think to yourself, like, and we've had this theme throughout this series where kind of when you're at school and it's always like, oh well, if you can't do this job or you're not clever enough to go and do that, let's just give you a trade. And it used to seem to be like the lower end of what you're going to do. But actually, if you do a trade and you do it really well, you can run your own business, you can make a lot of money, you can help other people, you can trade, and you just think, why have we got such a shortage in that?
It's getting these kids that are kind of coming through school or leaving school at fourth year, no staying on. It's actually getting them to have a bit of passion. To putting them through into a trade, or them having the want to go through it. My mum does recruitment for apprenticeships in the automotive sector, and she was telling me the allocations halved for last year to this year. She's like, because the take up that nobody's want to go in and put their head under a bonnet of a car now, and they're not interested. They don't want to be a mechanic.
So is it more from the young people's side then that you think, or do you think it's because there's not enough to say, come on in?
I think there's two elements of it. There's the fact that young people now want to be YouTubers. Yeah. You know, so there's, why would we go and work 12-hour days to make a good living when we could just create a video that might go viral? But then the other element of it is actually, you know, business is business and everything is political, and I think that our government doesn't invest in anything until it really, really has to. And then to feed down from that, from some of the bigger construction companies, they don't then invest either until it benefits them. So if you think of some of the biggest construction companies, is they won't put money into apprentices and sort of earn and learn opportunities until they have a project that they need that resource on. So recently, you know, construction was just kind of, or, you know, even the likes of trades and stuff like that, like you say, Michelle, it was always a kind of a fallback. Whereas now we've got to a point where we actually have, you know, we've got 2 massive projects kicking off in Glasgow as it stands, and we don't have the resource. Now all of a sudden we've got people in Parliament and all that talking about construction. Well, it's actually because now you need it. Yeah. Now you're prepared to invest. And to be honest, both Ross and I, we've got the Skilled Trades Network as well. And both Ross and I have been in rooms with, you know, government and stuff like that they say they want to support.
But and all actually, they're doing is ticking a box.
Yeah, and actually when you come up with a suggestion, or, you know, even like, you know, one man in a van tradespeople, you know, you're not to be considered. And they'll say it, you know, they'll say, oh yeah, we really need to think about, you know, their attitudes. They're the ones that we need to be getting their experiences before they retire. But when they come up with a suggestion that's going to support their business or help them employ, you don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
And is that the vision for the academy? Is it to become SQA approved, and is that
Well, you're going to start with the college now, aren't you?
Aye, so Pamela mentioned that you can't be a tiling apprenticeship, so I've been chasing that to get that back in a college, and that's looking more likely by the summer. So I'll need to step into that space to just kind of help with the college, because there is no staff. They're all, when they stopped it, they were all of retirement age, so they'll all be retiring now, and we're trying to find a new group of people to get.
How insane is that?
You're literally starting tiling from scratch again. And they have pretty much said, like, if it's not Ross, like, they don't know who it'll be. And you know, it's to be realistic as well. Like lecturing wages aren't great. So see, when we got to a point where we had the academy, because we've closed the academy
Right,
down.
okay.
So we had the academy and they offered us the apprenticeship. And I'll ballpark figures here, but they pretty much said it would be like 50 grand a year, and Ross had to be there full time. And that was us having a like premise and having to run it.
That was
And
including material costs and all that as well.
Wow.
And so there wasn't really.
so that's not viable
yeah.
for
No.
whatever
No.
reason. Whereas now, instead of just saying, you know, funding's a problem, they're a problem, that a problem, we've just decided to start working with the colleges. So Ross is going to partner with a college and he's going to do lecturing part-time to get tiling back up off the ground. But again, not to any sort of, I don't know, to your own benefit of any, because they might get a full-time lecturer and then you'll be bummed out and
That's
you'll
what I was
go
going
back
to say.
to being a tiler.
That's like off your own back.
Yeah.
That's not for like your end game. It's
No,
not
it's for tiling. It's
yeah.
just I've always said I've got a strange passion.
yeah.
I don't even like admitting it. It sounds
Yeah.
funny, like, but I do. I've got a passion for tiling and want to see other people go through and do it just as well.
I know. Well, it's funny because my wee stepson's here this week he lives in Belfast, so he's over this week and he's 15 and he's got dyslexia and he's also autistic and but he's good but school's just not a great environment for him. So he's like, I don't know what I want to do, and you don't know what you want to do at year 15. However, so this week I said to him, right, I'm going to get you some work experience days. But even that, it's not driven by the school anymore. It's like totally me off my own back saying, I'm going to ask all my trades in BNI if they can come out with them.
Yeah.
So today he went with a plumber. Well, I was saying, right, can you put him off plumbing? So he come back. He went away at 7:15 this morning, no bother. And he was back for 4. And I said to him, well, how did you go on? He went, yeah, really good, really good. And I said, right, what did you learn? He says, I can change your radiator. And I was like, so you can change your radiator now yourself? And he was like, yeah. I was like, good. But then he was like, but I could make £55 an hour or something, right? And I was like, and do you think that's good? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, well, of course he does. He's 15. But I was like, right, so wait till you go. So he's also got a day with a joiner and whatever. Yeah. But I don't have a tiler, so I might call upon you.
Yeah, definitely.
Might call upon you, but it's that I want him to have. I don't want him to look at it as this is a job that I could make money and just do it. I want him to have the passion to do it.
Yeah.
And he likes
You would do it for
he
the
likes
rest of your
building
life.
things and stuff. So I don't know if the joinery or carpentry would be the way that he would go, but he likes puzzles and Lego and stuff like that. So I feel like
You like
tiling,
intricate tiles, so
I know.
it's match
Aye.
fitting heaven.
tiling or carpentry might be something that he would go into.
Yeah.
But he's got no other avenue to pursue that unless I know people that I can say, come on, we'll go and we'll do that. Which is
support.
Well, you're saying
sad.
as well, like it's not driven by the skills, because when I was in school, you know, you got like a list of
Yeah.
work experiences to choose from, but I was actually a part of like a sort of workshop with a college a couple of months ago, and we were there with a couple of like the private house builders, and they were admitting like if you apply to for their apprenticeships and you don't have on-site experience, they don't even consider you. They don't even look at it. And I said, who's feeding this back to schools? Because surely the schools need to know that so that they can then put something in place to get their pupils on-site experience. But then that becomes a health and safety and an insurance issue.
Absolutely.
So then that's another massive gap. But I think the issue there is that there is a behaviour and an attitude that the schools are not aware of.
It's the chicken and the egg, but isn't it? It's absolutely like, how are these kids getting experience if these employers or house builders, aren't willing to take them with no experience? It's just mind blowing. It's such a big question mark out there that's hanging over the industry.
Absolutely.
But
here we've become all political. But
I know, check us.
my burning question is I really want to know who makes the decision of the tiles in your house? Who decides what's going in?
I don't fit them in the house.
So see,
Well, there's typical trades. I'm not doing any work more in house.
with our house. So we moved into a house like 4 years ago, and they had I don't think the tiles have been done since the house was built, and it was those like kind of I don't know tile sizes, but it's like
300 by
this size,
300.
like
You might need to know
magnolia.
that when you're quoting the jobs.
That time's gone. That's past. And it was fine at Donna's, but I was like, right, I want that changed now. And I kept showing him like these like dark wooden slat tiles, and know how you get like the gold edge around it. That's what I wanted. And I showed him
brown herringbone would affect with a
Gold
border
Yeah.
with gold
I'd say
inlay.
that's pretty intricate.
And
wouldn't
was
you?
It's lovely, it
Did you
really is.
veto it?
But
Yeah.
to do
So-
that after work is not happening.
So I got really, really fed up that Ross just wasn't doing it, to be fair.
Wasn't
I
he
don't know
on
how
board
long I
Playing the
waited.
game.
So he came home from work one day and I had a stack that high of like brown laminate. And I was like, there you go. So we've got
Crack on.
laminate
If I
Man.
did the laminate,
And
I
I
wasn't
said to him,
tiling.
we've been talking about our ensuite recently, and in fact, we've been talking about our ensuite for like the last 2 years. And I said to him about a couple of weeks ago, I was like, do you know what? I think I'm okay getting wet wall in the ensuite. And he said, you better get yourself a wet wall husband then. Still not got it done.
You're not putting wet wall in your house. You can't. You can't. Although it's upped its game a wee bit. Like when you look at some, like there's some copper stuff and whatever that's not too bad. It's not like shiny plastic.
If I ever need Ross to do something and he doesn't like stand up within like 3 seconds, I go do it myself.
Yeah.
So it's like, can I get something for the loft? And then I'll just go heal the
I
ladders.
love you just sitting nodding.
So it's the
That's how she
same.
coerces me into doing things. She'll stand up as if she's going to do it. All right.
That's
So
why you
it's
works away.
It's the same with the flooring. I was like, there you go. That needs
She
fixing.
even made a TikTok video out of it. Had a good time with it. The pallet in the driveway and her dragging the
Hilarious.
pallet in the
I
house.
got the
And
whole thing in the house by myself.
you did.
But that's a determined woman. Like we don't need men to be lifting.
I needed you to
Boxes
fit it,
and-
but I got it in the house.
Yeah.
Surprised you never tried that.
I know, to be
to
fair.
fit it. But it's funny because like all other trades say, oh well, I've got my own house to do. My wife's been nagging me for however long. And then like for years and years before I did this job, I bought and sold like 12 houses. So I've always been like, I'm doing this up, then I get fed up and I'm away and do it, whatever. And people will say to me now, like, oh, you must do your house all the time. Absolutely not. I
No.
don't do it all the time. I don't like, I go in, I do what I'm doing and then that's it. I'm like,
Just the upheaval in it.
I am so like doing other people's houses and thinking about theirs and
It's like the
making theirs
hairdresser
beautiful.
whose
And I'm
hair's
like,
always a riot, isn't it?
I'm like, my house is not right.
No, I didn't even. No, not good on you.
But it's true. You just really don't want. I don't want to come home and then start going. Right, let me think
Yeah.
about curtains for here because that's just not happening.
I'm a painter, aren't I? Like anytime I get bored of
Became one,
something,
aye.
I'll paint it. So like our whole house, the doors, the kitchen, and everything. You came in one day, and when I worked from home, and I had like took all the handles off the kitchen myself, filled it all, sanded it all, painted it all, didn't I?
Yep.
And then he came home, and there was just a rake of handles sitting there on a brand new kitchen, and he was just like,
Brand new kitchen.
What's happened?
Aye.
I just, if I need something done, I'll look at it, and I'm just going to paint
So
it.
Pamela, you're maybe needing to come and do mine. I had a bit of drama last week. I got a new dining table delivered, and the delivery company were bringing the boxes in the door. I don't have a doorstop, right? So the door swung back, handles burst the plaster, right? Anyway, it's fine. And then I've been waiting, getting it sorted. I thought, nah, fuck this. I'm going to go and get myself
Some polyfiller.
some polyfiller and a wee scraper. So I goes up to the Home Bargains.
Mm-hmm.
Just shambles. Anyway, so I done it and I sanded it all down. It was all chuffed myself, and then I thought, right, I'll get another refilling because there's a wee bit of texture on there. And then I thought, right, that's drying. So I looked at the paint. So I've then just went bang, painted all over it, right? I was like, looks great. And then ran the handle with there was another wee bit that was damaged in the wall. So I decided to do that. This is in my hallway, right enough. So I've got this patch, that patch, and then I've just started painting it. Got up the next morning, the fill was different colour. Because it's not been painted in 2 years, right? And obviously the sunlight beams through there. So then I went, it must be this pot. So I've went over this bit. You should see my hallway right now, guys.
So you need the
A
whole
patchwork
Pamela,
quilt.
paint the whole thing.
I'm not going to book you in for next week, right?
She'll never get stressed out about something first.
That is what. Remember the last time you were away? I remember.
Oh, there's a theme here.
You answered the phone and we were just chatting away, and you just went, "Are you painting?" And you just hear like the roar, and I was like, "Yeah." He's like, and I remember it was just silence. You can usually hear him working in the background when he's on the phone. And I remember it went silent, and he definitely like walked out the house or something like that because it changed, and he went, "Pamela, what's wrong with you?" It's like just stressed out about something.
That's your go-to for stress.
But even the hallway, like I done a hallway in that lime wash. You see that
Yeah.
trend?
Yeah.
It's nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
Even you were impressed with that one.
So that being said, did you continue it through your ceiling, like full colour wash?
Yeah.
So you've done the
Right.
ceiling and the walls the same colour?
Not in the hallway, but we've done it in the office. I had painted the office black.
Aye.
That's all.
Black ceiling as well?
And then the kids, their rooms they've got the painted ceiling that comes down a wee bit.
Oh, yeah.
Picture real quick.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm still need to be. I'm
Colour drench.
Colour drench.
Yeah.
You're not there yet.
not there yet. I want to.
I wanted to colour drench our bedroom, so that chocolate brown, but I never done the ceiling, and I'm still unsure if I'm going
You
to.
love it. You'd love
I
the
love a
idea of
chocolate
chocolate
brown.
brown room full of.
Well, Fan and Bottle have got a new colour, and it's called broccoli brown.
Oh, I seen it.
I think broccoli was
Aye.
right.
I'm no understanding. It's broccoli brown.
Aye.
But it looks nice. The colour is nice.
Mm.
It's just the name. I'm like, broccoli brown.
Broccoli brown.
But anyway,
Reach out, Farrow and Ball.
I know. Let us know why.
Maybe it's like broccoli. It's went off, and I thought, oh, we'll just call it after that. Oh, broccoli.
I don't know.
Anyway, guys, this brings me back to my favourite part of the podcast. So we're going to give you a little quick fire round. Normally we've only got one guest, but maybe take an answer. Beat you the day. Favourite tile style right now?
Quick fire.
It's not my forte. Any quick fire.
He's considered. Needs to time.
Small scallops.
Pamela?
Mine tiles. And what was the ones that you had the other day? Those kind of. It was that patchwork one.
Oh, that
Yeah.
was the marble mosaic.
That was
Aye.
nice. So we're calling that a marble mosaic.
Yeah.
Marble mosaic.
Marble mosaic. One trend that needs to go.
The acoustic panel tile effect.
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed.
We've got that in one of the rooms, and I want to get it off.
Yep.
Oh
It's
no,
funny
that
how
was
it
that was my attempt at it.
Mm.
I just put 2B-inch on the wall, and nailed it all.
No, it needs to go.
2 inch and dream project.
Probably done it at Hudson.
that was unbelievable.
That was.
Yeah. Is there a dream project you'd like to see you guys work on?
Scotland's Jackie Bird. It's Scotland's new Jackie Bird.
Yeah. I know. Well, to be fair, I like Lorraine Kelly, but you keep saying I'm Susanna Reid, and I'm not happy with that.
Oh,
So
I
now
like
I'm Jackie
Susanna.
Bird. I don't like Susanna Reid. There's something about her.
Aye.
It's a bit snobby.
Mm.
Don't say anything.
Say nothing.
say what you were going to say.
A matte tile or a gloss tile?
Matt.
Yeah, I would
Oh,
agree
see.
on that.
We could have done Mr. and Mrs.
I
today.
know, we
I
could have done
know.
Mr. and Mrs. That's a good shout.
Well, we would have went home not talking after that.
And
Back
you
to
would
back.
have needed to paint some.
I would have got a lot wrong, definitely.
And then feature wall or just keep it minimal.
I like a feature wall. I've actually been waiting on my feature wall being done for, what's that, 2 years I've had that wallpaper
What feature?
in the bedroom.
Aye.
You'd love it. It's a nice, like, leafy, like, forestry wallpaper.
But I would love it if it was every wall, Pamela,
Oh,
not
would
just
you?
one.
No,
All
it's
in.
expensive. I could only afford one.
She
No.
doesn't even want a wall. She wants like the picture frame with the inset piece in it.
It's very Pinterest.
Oh, gads.
Mm.
And guys, before we finish up, just let us know, let everybody know, sorry, where can we find you? Give yourselves a plug.
I'm on LinkedIn mostly, so Pamela Cunningham. But then I also have Instagram, which is Growth and Performance.
I'm on all platforms, to be fair. I'm on TikTok as the Tartan Tyler. I'm on Instagram as Rossco Tiling Specialists. And LinkedIn is Ross Cunningham.
Excellent. I didn't know about the Tartan Tyler. How interesting.
So you don't know about the kilt?
I don't think so.
Oh,
Oh,
No, no.
I've missed this as well.
oh, I have.
Guys, I was sitting doing my research last night as well.
When we launched the academy on TikTok, we had Ross in a so it was like a black kilt, but the accent in it had like
Yellow tartan.
a yellow tartan, almost like construction-y.
Mm.
And then we just really struggled to get engagement, and then we done like the one post of him going to lift up his kilt, and we cut it off. Oh my god, views went through the roof.
I wore it for a year just to kind of promote. Everybody like, why are you wearing a kilt?
And then it just
That's
became a
amazing.
thing. You really should get the kilt back.
I was up a ladder at the academy one time, and the guy came up, he's like, I was like, what are you doing? Pulling my kite to the side.
Brilliant.
That's great.
Brilliant.
We must look at it. You need to get the kilt back for us then,
I
surely.
know. I know.
Aye.
I know we asked John and Mabley that same question. How he didn't turn up?
I said to John, like, I remember watching you in changing rooms and whatever, and I said, you always wore a kilt, where's your kilt? And he said, oh, I've lost a wee bit of weight since then, so I've gave all my kilts to the scouts, they can make tents with them, right? And it was like, it was so funny. But I noticed the last time I seen him, he had a kilt on, so must be back to the kilt.
We did think that at the recent event we were at, that you should have had a kilt on as well.
Yeah.
Couldn't steal John's light.
It's thunder.
I know. Oh, guys, it's been
Brilliant.
an absolute
Thank you so
pleasure
much.
No,
having
thank
you
you.
today. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank
That's
you.
a wrap.